The indoor practice facility here at Clemson. We're going to give you guys our previews and predictions for the ACC opener this year on the road again for the Tigers at Georgia Tech. Will, I'm going to let you start today. What's your key to a victory for Clemson?
Gavin's mad now because he knows I'm going to
take. Like, oh man, I got to think something else.
He's like over there going to be thinking, what am I going to say? Robert usually comes to me first. I would say the key for Clemson and what they have to do is they got to stop the fullback. I mean, that's the number one play, I think. And if they can stop the dive, then I think after that it's just gravy for them, because I don't.
You think they're good enough in the middle to stop the dive?
I think they are. And to me, if you shut down the dive and an option, then you're not concerned about the outside as much. That allows all the guys on the outside to just focus on what they're supposed to do. And let's be honest, Bryant and Cleveland Farrell have done a great job the last couple of years going against this defense. And now the key also is how does Georgia Tech try to attack Isaiah Simmons also on that outside? But right now it all starts with the fullback dive. Clemson eliminates that, then there's no doubt in my mind they'll win this game easy.
All right, Gavin, what's your key to victory?
My key to the game is no turnovers, or limit the turnovers, because that's the only way, in my opinion, that Georgia Tech can play with Clemson, is if Clemson turns the ball over, because not only are you giving them free opportunities and maybe giving them opportunities in good field position, depending on where you turn the ball over, but it's going to you only get so many possessions against Georgia Tech, so you got to take advantage of those opportunities when you get them and not give away possession. So I don't see Clemson having much trouble this week unless they turn the ball over. And so yeah, that's my key to the game.
All right, that's Gavin's key of the game. Going to play off of that a little bit, go in a little bit different direction. My key of the game, believe it or not, is going to be to play the quarterbacks. This is going to be one of those games where you're going to get very few possessions. Clemson, assuming Kelly is healthy, they're going to be doing the same thing, trying to rotate series and get guys in and out. That quarterback battle already creates pressure on those guys to try to make sure they're doing something when they're in the game, when they get the ball, when they get a chance. There are going to be fewer chances for both of them Saturday, so that's going to increase the pressure a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't impact the performance. They need to go out there and execute. Obviously, I expect the defense to do a good job, but I also expect Georgia Tech to get some points Saturday. So I think Clemson's offense going to need to play well, going to need those quarterbacks to execute when they do get their opportunities out there and not be too concerned with the quarterback battle. All right, those three keys of the game. Now we're going to go to predictions. Will, I'm going to let you start off.
Well, this is always generally, like Dabo said in his Tuesday press conference, this is always one of the better rivalries of the ACC. When you look back at the overall history of the rivalry, the two teams, it's like they switched who wins and loses, and then the games have always been close. Even with Dabo and Paul Johnson as the head coaches, they've been really close games for the most part, except for the last couple of years when Brent has figured out how to stop this triple option. I think he's going to do it again today. I think he's got the same players he had last year and 2 years ago, and I think they know how to stop it, and I think they will. It'd be interesting if Paul Johnson throws out a wrinkle or two that Clemson's not used to. He's got a couple more veteran players this year, a veteran quarterback. He might do some different things just to try to maybe loosen up that Clemson defense. We'll see. Because one person he can exploit, especially if the running game does start going a little bit, is Tanner Muse. We all know it. We've seen it. We saw it last week. Tanner Muse is going to
emails to Will Vandervoort.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, you look at every big play, Tanner Muse has been involved in every one of them that's gone against the other team for the other team. And last week, for example, Georgia Southern, same thing happened on a trick play. That was Tanner Muse's bust on that play. So so that's one of the things he may try to exploit that because it's on tape. You got two examples where you've seen it happen. So, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. I think Clemson's offense will get enough opportunities to score. I think they'll be more focused this week than they were last week. I'm going to say 31-10 Clemson.
All right, Gavin, what's your prediction here?
Well,
what are you laughing at, Will?
My score prediction that I had in mind, I'll just go ahead and say it was exactly the same as Will's.
You said that last week.
I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say, but let me explain my reason. So 31-10 is my score prediction. But let me I think Georgia Tech will find a way to get a score at some point. I mean, it's just going to be tough to shut out that offense, in my opinion. But I just the way I see it, Georgia Tech's they're just not very good. I mean, they're just nowhere near Clemson's caliber of talent. I mean, they lost to Pittsburgh, lost to USF. This is not a Georgia Tech team of the past that has really given Clemson fits. I mean, I think Clemson jumps on them early, takes what crowd is there out of the game early, puts Georgia Tech behind the 8-ball early. And if you get them behind early, then you're in good position because they can't make up a lot of points. They're not a chunk play type offense where they can make up points. points quickly. So I see Clemson jumping on them early. Clemson's going to be excited. They're not playing Mary Poppins or Chitty Chitty Bang Bang this week. They're playing actually an ACC team, first conference game on the road. There's going to be excitement for the Tigers, and I think they go out and take care of business pretty easily on Saturday.
All right, these guys got the same score, so we'll see how that goes.
You'll still ask us on Saturday.
I will say, no, I got that. I'll ask you what it is, and I'll just be able to duplicate it. I do expect there to be a lot of Clemson fans. You mentioned the crowd. I've seen a lot of talk on our board this week about a lot of Georgia Tech fans putting their tickets up for sale. So I expect to see a lot of orange there. Trevor Lawrence's first game near home. He's not from Atlanta, which some people may think, but he's about 45 minutes an hour up the road. But expect a big crowd there. I'm not going to go quite as high. I'm learning my lesson each week. 70s down to 50s.
Really?
But I'm still going to go higher than these guys.
That's what you meant by you're not going to go surprise high.
I do think got to go a little lower this week because there's not going to be as many possessions. So if you don't have as many possessions, obviously you're not going to score as many points. I do expect Georgia Tech to score a little more than these guys. I do expect Clemson to score a little more than these guys. I think Clemson doesn't come out and get to a super start. They seem to have struggled early in the game this year so far, and we've seen that in the past. And I think the quarterback battle and the jitters there has a little something to do with it. I'm going to go Clemson 45, Georgia Tech 24. Take any of the scores here, but hopefully we'll all be right. We'll be coming home 1-0 and getting ready for undefeated Syracuse coming to town. Stay tuned to TCI. We'll have everything covered all weekend long, 5 strong in Atlanta. Gavin and I got a nice trip planned for Friday night. Bring you guys some great coverage of that as well. So stay tuned to TCI for the most complete coverage of Clemson football.